What's up, everybody? Welcome again to This Week in Gaming with a slightly salted squad. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us for today, June 5th, for episode 29, where we're going to be talking about E3 predictions and leaks, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Stadia, and a whole lot more. As always, we appreciate you watching or listening, whether it be live on twitch.tv/slightly salted squad, or later on YouTube, or on your favorite podcast network. If you haven't yet, please check us out on Twitter and Instagram for news and updates. If you want to support us, click those follow and subscribe buttons. Otherwise, check us out at patreon.com/slightly salted squad. Most importantly, though, if you want to play with us, make sure you check out our official Discord, which you can link to from twitch.tv/slightly salted squad. That's enough of that. As always, I'm John at Force Inept.
I'm Mike at Sresh.
I'm Deion at Super Nerd Fresh.
Cool. I'm gonna just
and now you check for the sound, right?
No, I'm gonna lower it down a little bit because we're like a little loud, I think. So sorry about that, everybody.
Like,
listen.
Intro, and now the audio worked.
Yep, that worked. Cool, awesome, great. Didn't fuck it up this time. Thanks for nothing, Stream Deck.
Tried.
Yeah,
Tried to get you.
Stream Deck. Those updates, they're killing me. They are killing me. But yeah. I think we have a little bit of like stuff we can talk about, but I think we'll just integrate that into the news. So I think we'll just get right into the news. Okay, caught those Elgato problems. Manually doing stuff. Never a great idea for me to do that. Okay, as always, awful Anthem. This week, Cataclysm is now available for testing. So the long announced and overdue update that was supposed to be end of May is now out for pre-testing and will start in July. It's a limited time event. Everybody on the testing realms is already saying it's underwhelming, and it's not even out yet. And it's basically like weather patterns. So, like, there's that.
So, they showed a little bit of the sort of Cataclysm event in one of the betas, didn't they? For the last couple of hours, like on the last day, they did a mini Cataclysm stuff.
Yeah, the big creatures came out and stuff.
Yep, exactly. And as we've kind of seen in the past with our experience with the closed alpha and then the beta, like, I wonder if they did anything to change it.
Anything different.
Or to make it any different, right?
Yeah, and we'll get into it a little bit, but it is interesting for E3. They're not even going to be talking, or at least on the EA Play. It's not officially E3, whatever. During their EA Play, it's not even on their schedule. So clearly, they maybe have a less than confident view on maybe the future of the game. So it's kind of interesting. Maybe they kind of cut their losses, didn't put a ton of stuff into this update, just because. I don't know. Maybe they're seeing the writing on the wall. Granted, that's wild speculation, but we're going to have tons of wild speculation in this episode, I think, because E3 is nearly upon us. So excited.
Yeah, I don't think their non-announcement of anything new for Anthem necessarily means that it's gone. I think they need to take the time to figure out what the hell they're doing. So, knock on wood, it could just be that they're taking a breath.
Yeah, that's fair. I really hope they can pull like a No Man's Sky. They just go dark for a while and then come back and rejuvenate it. But we'll see. EA, and they kind of did it for Battlefront 2. But
I don't think they did do it for Battlefront 2.
No.
I think that they put out some good content. I don't think that they brought back the
community and stuff. Gotcha.
No.
I know there was like that slight resurgence, but like it wasn't. It was like on the periphery of like, okay, I hear it's better.
And I do think that the quality of the content is good, though. Like, I do think that the things that they put in recently were good updates and good changes. I think that they lost gamers. Community.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was a lot of backpedaling, right? Like, No Man's Sky was under scrutiny because they underdelivered. This one, with Battlefront, it was like, are you kidding me? You want me to play 600 hours to unlock everything? Right. Or here's my $3,000. And so they were just like, yeah, we're just kidding. We're going to go ahead and pull that back a little bit. The damage had already been done at that point. Whereas I think No Man's Sky had a unique position, and so does Anthem, where it was like hype train, but then they kind of shot in here. Like, you can still close this gap.
Gotcha. That's fair. Okay. Well, yeah. So more to come. It'll be interesting. I'm curious if they do at least talk about Anthem at all and stuff like that. So it's not on their list, but maybe they address it. Who knows? We shall see. Next up, prior to E3, actually launched today. And I'm sure Mike's going to tell us all about it. Pokemon Direct today. Where they sorry about the audio there. Where they talk about Pokemon Sword and Shield. Mike, you want to give us a rundown on that one?
I don't even know where to begin. Right. So the adventure takes place in the Galar region, which is it's a brand new region that we haven't seen, which is kind of traditional with the new versions of the game. I'm really, really surprised, and I'm really happy with what I've seen so far. There's a couple of things that jump out at me immediately that really excite me. One, it looks like, and maybe not in every place, but certainly in that the wild area.
Region.
Yes, the wild region. It looks like they have open Pokemon battles or open Pokemon encounters, which was super neat, right? So you see a Tyranitar walking around, you see the Melodic floating around in the water with the Gyarados and that kind of stuff. From Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah, so I'm curious on that because they show a clip in the video where it's clearly a random encounter, but then additionally, there's at least, like you said, areas where they're visible, kind of like Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee.
So I'm thinking, by what I can tell, it almost looks like they're going to play very heavily off of the wild area as a separate zone or a separate area, right? Because in that area, they make the call out of, hey, you have an open camera. For the first time in a Pokemon RPG, you can spin your camera around and actually look up and down and solve puzzles based on what you see or find items. They have the wild Pokemon, like you guys can see up on the screen, that are just sort of like roaming around the area. You're able to interact with the foliage, the trees, and that kind of stuff in the area, which I think is going to be super cool. But also, you can group with friends. And it sounds like you can do it either through local connection or through Wi-Fi. But to do these raid-type battles, I feel like they're kind of taking a leaf out of... Yes, taking a leaf out of Pokemon Go, but a little bit more strict with the 4-player rather than maybe 1 or 2 or hell, up to 20 in some cases with Pokemon Go. There was also a mention that certain Pokemon won't actually be able to be captured until after you defeat their... what do they call the form? Dynamax. Their Dynamax form in the raid battles.
I missed that.
Right.
Okay.
So there will be some Pokemon that you'll have to get together with people to beat before you can even unlock them and get them into your Pokedex. Now, I don't know how that'll really work out with the sort of Pokemon Home new trading platform that they're going to do. And it'll probably make it really easy to get those Pokemon elsewhere. But I think that's very cool. One thing I'm sort of on the fence about, I say that loosely. So it looks like gyms are back and gym battles are back, which is not really a big deal. I liked what they had done in Sun and Moon. I think we've talked about this in previous games where the sort of trials where you can go from island to island and pick the trial you want to do in some loose respect.
So do you think this is gym or is it a separate thing for stadiums? Or are those kind of the same? Because I've really only played some of the original Pokemon games.
So they're separate.
Okay.
Gyms specifically are with gym trainers who sort of hold down a specific location, or usually it's in a town, and then you beat them, and they specialize in some special type of Pokemon, and then you get a badge for that, and once you collect enough badges, you can go and fight the Elite Four. For the stadium battles, which looks like it's also going to become a very big mechanic in this game, they called out very specifically that some gym trainers are present in those battles, such as Leon, who is the actual champion of the Elite Four, and they kind of show him in there too.
And his brother Hop.
Yeah, which is weird because he didn't get the Scorch Bunny. They show him with the
I
was like, well, all right.
His brother.
Right. Yeah, so he's the brother. Kind of interesting that your rival is the champion's brother, and that whole mechanic. But I think it's gonna be a pretty cookie cutter rival story, which is pretty neat.
Totally a love affair with Sonia, the granddaughter of Professor Magnolia.
Right, naturally.
Looking fine. Professor Magnolia, I mean.
Yeah, obviously, right, because you're not
Sorry.
into 12-year-olds. The other thing that I thought was really interesting was, I don't know if you caught it, and I only caught it in a couple of places, but it sounds like they have made adjustments to the Pokemon's cries. So it's something that I had talked about previously in a couple of other streams. That the cries just, they're not as immersive. They're still those same old sort of 16, 32-bit cries from the old Pokemon games, which has a great nostalgia feeling. But everything else is being upgraded from being in 3D worlds and the updated graphics, and now we're in color and we're in 3D in some cases and all this really cool stuff. But we still have these old cries. So
I'm curious,
especially after watching,
because I heard a noise and I thought it was the original cry.
So that's why I say in some cases, right? Because the Raichu cry is very distinctly different.
Okay, gotcha. I think it was one of the
myself as a nerd so hard.
I think it's one of the Dynamax, which we'll get into, cries like right off the bat, where I thought it was the original, like as far as that 8-bit, 16-bit. I don't unfortunately know what they sound like, but
I think you're right. I think Jigglypuff's is the same, which is why I say it sounds like they may have done some tweaks, but not in other tweaks.
That's interesting.
Or maybe they just added more variation, right? Because in the games, traditionally, it's like they always just have that one cry. Whereas in the show and even in the Pokemon Detective Pikachu movie, they have like those sort of shorter cries. It's Pika, Pika, Pikachu. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily always Pikachu or whatever. So maybe they've just added more variation. But either way, that looks pretty cool. They have the... it looks like they're going to continue to go with using the Pokemon for traveling. Yep. In Pokemon Sun and Moon, you could ride around on Tauros on land, and you could fly around on other Pokemon. And it's kind of like that you leverage Pokemon as your mode of transportation, usually just by kind of summoning them. And that's sort of the impression I got with this new flying Pokemon they have on the screen. Yeah,
they have the flying Pokemon, but then they also showed the bike and water bike, which is badass. So yeah, I think it sounds like it's gonna be. It looks like it's gonna be a mix of those. The bird probably being more of the fast travel type situation. Mm-hmm. Would be my guess, at least.
Yeah, agreed. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot more to say, but I think overall, I'm very excited for this. This is the game I was hoping for when we went to the Nintendo Switch. The ability to be able to dock it and play on my console and pick it up and head over to your house and do some local raids together. I think that's going to be really, really fun.
Yeah. So I do have a question, as you being the resident, I guess, Pokemon nerd. What do you think about Dynamax? So for those of you that haven't seen it, Dynamax is essentially this ability. So it comes into play a few times. Dynamax allows you to essentially grow your Pokemon to this giant size and power. There are these giant Pokeballs. So you can do yours for up to 3 turns. It sounds like that's the same during the stadium battles. But then when you do a raid, you're fighting a Dynamax Pokemon that's that permanently. And then only one of the 4 people can make one of their Pokemon Dynamax, again, for only 3 turns.
I'm not a huge fan. And for a couple of reasons. One, it feels very gimmicky. Very gimmicky. They have the big, giant sort of disco ball Pokeball, and they're like, right. It just seems sort of silly. But not only that, like, I'm not super into the battle meta of Pokemon, which seems weird, right? I've been playing it for 20 years, but really, my interest is more around collecting. I like going into the regions and discovering new Pokemon and figuring out how to get them to evolve. But I don't give a shit about Dynamax. I don't give a shit about, like, Mega Evolutions or things like that, right? Where this just feels like we had Mega Evolutions and we've done some other sort of weird stuff in the past. We need to kind of keep up. And so I feel like this is sort of like throw something on the wall and see if it sticks. I think this game has so much going for it standing on its own 2 feet that I don't know that it's necessary. But I don't know.
Yeah. My initial thought when I first saw it, when they show it in the clip, before they actually explain the whole thing, is the raid. You see this giant Pokemon. That made sense to me. I was like, okay, cool. They're, some sort of special Pokemon, or they're altered rares, so they're very difficult. It takes 4 people because they're gigantic. But then when I saw, like, you can make your own gigantic, and then when they showed the stadium battle, which they're showing right now, is them being gigantic in the stadium battle, then I was just like, what is happening? And I'm confused, and that kind of turned me off. I think if they would just left it the raid, I would have been like, okay, makes sense. Raid off, got it. But the whole mechanic of you turning it big and the giant Pokeball, I was like you just grab this giant medicine ball sized thing out of your backpack and double hand throw it over.
It's very shiny too. It's very much straight up a disco ball, which is cool.
Although now I'm gonna go back and find the guy because now I know why. What was his name? Milo, forgot how it was pronounced. This giant boy-faced guy with just roid raging hair again there. This guy just swole AF. Now I understand why. He's lifting these giant medicine ball Pokeballs, throwing them everywhere.
Exactly. Yes. Right. You put a fucking Wilmer in that. You're gonna. That was a nerdy Pokemon joke. But like I said, I think they're just trying to create a new mechanic similar to Mega Evolutions. Mega Evolution had a similar restriction where you could only Mega Evolve once per battle, but it would stay Mega Evolved until it either fainted or you switched it out.
Oh, interesting.
Not trigger another Mega Evolution. So
like,
I think they're just trying to do something like that.
I don't even know what that mechanic is. Like, I never played any of those, so that's literally brand new news to me. So it sounds very similar as far as that.
It is. In that case, it's a temporary evolution, and this one is just a huge increase in size and stats, and so similar concepts.
Yeah, but I'm assuming Mega Evolution is going away. Like, I'm assuming that's not in this game if this is here.
So, I don't know that that's true.
Okay.
Because I believe when Pokemon Sun and Moon first started, there was no real Mega Evolution. At least you don't see any Mega Evolutions through the beginning of the game, and then towards the end of it, you start to find items to allow you to Mega Evolve. And then eventually I think you can end up Mega Evolving like a much wider array than what there was normally. So I imagine there'll be something similar in this. Now, how they'll play together. So with Mega Evolutions, you have sort of like a bracelet and you can activate it, and then if your Pokemon's holding a specific stone, then they can Mega Evolve. But your bracelet can only be activated once per battle, is sort of how they do it. So I don't know how that's going to play into with Dynamaxing of Pokemon. Is it the same sort of bracelet thing, or can you do both? What happens if you Mega Evolve them and then Dynamax them? Do they just explode? I don't know.
It's just a one-shot, kills everything, including you.
Yeah. Or maybe you're right. Maybe they will actually remove the ability to do that altogether. But I think with their big push towards Pokemon Home and raising awareness, not even raising awareness, but like making it easier to trade and to sort of link all the previous games together, it would be silly for them to remove them again.
Right. Now, I'm curious of Deion's opinion about Zacian and Zamazenta, the Sword and Shield Pokemon. Legendary Pokemon they show at the very end here. You got them on screen here.
I'm not a fan.
No?
Listen, I'm not the Pokemon fanatic that Mike is, but looking at what our previous legendary type Pokemon were, and from an older day, but I just felt like we could probably do better than a wolf with a shield in his face and a wolf with a sword in its mouth. Like I just felt like there could have been something
like
a little bit
sword tail. Come on, tail is a sword.
Give me a sword tail. I don't know. I just felt like there could have been something different there than like the same. I get it. Same creature.
Yeah, variation. Whatever.
But like you're just a wolf with a sword in its mouth. That's my thing.
Yeah, Mike.
And I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you. Actually, I think Zamazenta looks actually pretty cool. Right? He's very lion-esque and sort of majestic. He's got this big sort of like almost like a mane of a shield, which I think is pretty neat. But the sword in the mouth is weird. To me, logistically, I've always had a problem with Pokemon who had accessories as part of the Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like, what happens if he drops the sword?
Well, or there was...
What does that mean?
It's not Scorbunny. It's one of them that has like a stick. So when they show in the Dynamax version, it's just like giant with a giant stick. I'm like, what? Yeah. Is that how that works?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Or is that fucking sword legitimately on his mouth?
He just can't eat
food underneath the sword. Yeah, so I've always had a bit of a problem with that.
Yeah.
He looks kind of cool, right? He looks like a fucking Megazord or something. I think that's pretty neat.
Right.
And the sword is very Master Sword-esque, which to me is like,
yeah, that's cool.
Nintendo, yay, they
Cool.
did it. That's cool.
Nod.
Right.
But outside of that, like, yeah, I think it's stupid for Pokemon to have accessories. Look at Farfetch'd, who goes and finds a branch and brings it with him, and he's always got one, but he finds it. That's one thing. This thing, it matches his theme. It's his.
Right.
It's him.
It's part of him. I felt the exact same way. The shield one, I'm sorry, I think I like that one less. Granted, I'm curious if the shield is more like flowing or whatever, if like you see other shots, because like how the F do you lay down and go to sleep? This giant shield.
It kind of looks like it might retract or something, I guess.
Yeah.
He just falls down face first.
Or maybe it's like these appear on them when they like do an ability or something like that. Kind of like you said,
like
Megazord. It's like, woo!
I say Sailor Moon.
Sword out of the mouth. I don't know.
Yeah, I would buy that much better.
Steve mentions, I was hoping they were making the Pokemon trainer battles for the entertainment of the giant Pokemon. So the Pokemon are watching while the trainers fight. Dude, Milo, whatever, would just wreck everybody. You just roid rage and crush everybody.
Arms off and just, yeah, it'd be ridiculous.
So the question then, Mike, which version are you going to buy? Or are you going to buy the dual pack? Because you can get a dual pack November 15th. They don't say how much it is.
I mean, probably same price minus $5.
Yeah, I was kind of curious. Like, are they going to do like a significant discount? Or are they going to do? Where's it? There we go.
So, that's a good question. My thinking is, I've always played the tank, right? I'm always the tank, and so it feels wrong not to be the shield.
I hear you.
Interesting.
Deion?
I would probably.
He's like, do I have to buy one?
So I would buy, even though I'm not a fan of the legendary, I would buy Sword. I think.
Yeah. So I was kind of the same boat before I saw these Pokemon. I was like, yeah, I'd probably do Sword. Like either one, I think I'd be happy with. Sword though, it's blue, it's a sword. I tend to be more offensive, rogue-like type thing. And now I see the Pokemon though. Now I don't know.
I feel like Sword is going to be the more common of the two. Like you're going to find people more Sword.
Yeah,
agreed.
Fair.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm curious how much it will be because I think besides Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, this is the first $60 Pokemon game, right?
Yes, most Pokemon games are $40.
That's a good point.
Right. So
about that.
I'm curious if it's cheaper than that, which I highly doubt, or at least if they offer a more significant discount on the double pack. But I'm curious to see how they do it because this is the first main Pokemon game of a more digital age too. So
yeah, well, what's good about that is that while they've always been able to do updates for Pokemon games, well, I say always since the more recent Game Boys, I think they've been very hesitant to do so because Game Boys are traditionally played offline.
Right.
And so this is the first time they really have the opportunity to sort of patch things and add content and have events and that kind of stuff. So I think this is more of a longer term investment.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I would not shy from paying $60 for this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
A lot more content.
I wouldn't be tempted by the double pack unless it was under $100. If it was under $100, I would like an $80 like digital deluxe because basically they're the same game. It's just like a couple, lines of code more or whatever. I assume at least.
They're just exclusive Pokemon that are switched generally. So like
So if that's the same,
150 and 150, but there'll be 10 that are exclusive to each side.
Right. Yeah, and with a digital age though, it's not like previously that would be two code bases, very similar, separate. Now it's like you could just patch it and like get that extra Pokemon type situation. So it's like, curious.
Right. Well, and we talked about the Pokemon Home and how they're making trading that much easier.
Right.
In the video, they actually talk about playing online with friends for the raids and stuff. So I imagine they're bringing back the online global trading as well. So I think that gap between the two games is starting to close a little bit more. I think more likely people are going to partner up, throw their money in the pool, and buy the combo pack. And it's
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. But November 15th. And I'm sure we'll find out a lot more before then. I'm going to switch it up real quick for you guys. Just because this came out before E3, I'm going to go to some news that also came out before E3, then circle back. Are you guys good with that?
Yeah, do it.
Cool. Going over to Call of Duty. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Not the original one, but Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
3
or whatever one it is. So trailer dropped this week. Well, technically last week. So May 30th. Very realistic. Very gritty. From what the embargo drop has shown, it's a lot less machismo. I don't know what the right word is for it, but like running in, explosions everywhere, whatever. But it's very, you get put into situations. For example, there was one where it's like, there's a terrorist attack in London. You play as a police officer. Then there's another scene where you're storming a house, kind of like what they're showing now. And you go in, and it's not like a bunch of guys with guns waiting there for you, you know, coming out, a bunch of them just spawning, shooting at you. But it's like you walk in, and it's a bunch of what look like civilians around a table planning, and like one goes towards a crib, and you don't know if it's grabbing like a baby or a gun, and it's a lot more tense, realistic, significant events, I guess.
They should just call it Call of Duty Tactical, and then they could have spared the embarrassment of calling it Modern Warfare.
Yeah, so like I get almost like the Rainbow Six vibe of what they're going for, and from what
it's very Tom Clancy-esque.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. And from what the people that saw, you know, the closed screening or whatever it was where the embargo dropped, they were saying like all the focus was actually on the single player. Like they didn't really even talk about the multiplayer a lot, because this is a huge focus of single player on this game, which is interesting. Where, you know, the past, I don't know, I couldn't even tell you how many iterations, 4 or 5 iterations probably, where it's just been all multiplayer focused. Like the last one didn't even have single player.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm curious. And then they just apparently casually dropped too, like, oh, it's also cross-play everywhere. Like, what? What the fuck?
We are tearing down walls.
Yeah.
We are bridging borders. I'm so excited for the new age, and I'm hoping by next generation, holiday 2020, fall 2021, that's just the standard. That's the one.
Right. I mean, and obviously, you know, Fortnite and Rocket League, they've done it. It was a struggle, but they did it. It's kind of weird calling Fortnite a small game, but like Call of Duty is the blockbuster of games. And now Activision's just like, we're going to do this. So they're setting the bar, and now it's going to be, why aren't other people doing this? I feel
exactly. Yeah, well, I mean, Epic Game has been doing it. They now have, so Paragon was one of their first ones. So Paragon is an ended project, and they don't have Paragon anymore. But Dauntless is completely open. And then, like you said, Fortnite. We have Rocket League, like you said. So
I feel like for the free-to-play games, though, I think it's an easier conversation because it's not like, for example, PlayStation's getting a cut if previously I bought Call of Duty on PlayStation. They're not getting a cut if I bought it on Xbox but play it on, well, how would that work?
That's a very interesting point, right? And so I'll say this. Epic is the one that does Dauntless and Paragon and Fortnite.
Right.
And the cross-play is all through their platform. At least that's how it was with Dauntless. You would log into their platform, and then you could play across. Activision's in a unique position as well, right? Because you can buy the game directly through Activision. And then if you play it on PC or you play it on PlayStation or whatever, then you could use their servers and not have to. I don't know if that's how they're going to go about it, but they're not selling exclusively through PlayStation or Xbox.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because Call of Duty on PC is through Blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
So, interesting.
Which then, what does that mean for games like Diablo 3?
Yeah.
Where they do already have it on Xbox, and they do already have it, or I don't know if it's on Xbox. It's definitely
yeah, they have it on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch. Yeah.
Right. And you have it on PC, and so what would it take, you know?
Right. So, you guys getting this?
Yeah. I am. I think that it's definitely been the first time in a very long time that I've been interested in a Call of Duty game. Honestly, since like Black Ops 2, I think. You know, I like the spin, the rehash of what they've done kind of in the past. They're going towards the fans that want a more realistic shooter, a more current shooter.
Right.
You know, we were getting so much into the futuristic. Like I didn't know what else someone was gonna do. Like
I've got an exoskeleton.
Right. You already.
What am I just a robot?
Essentially, like what's next? You're doing Titanfall. Like that's
right.
That's where they were at, and it's just like, well, you need to really take a look at the game and really see what they can do to kind of go back to the roots a little bit. So I mean, we're past the WW2 era, so I'm glad it wasn't like that. I mean, Battlefield did that, Battlefield 1 and all that stuff, but I'm glad that it's like, okay, now we're back to like SEAL Team 6, actual current warfare. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm curious. You know, they tend to do a good job at their older campaigns when they would do like a nice campaign.
Yeah.
So
I'm
interested in that.
Infinity Ward, I think, was the one that did the kind of infamous airport scene for Call of Duty, where it's like you're the terrorist and you're going in and stuff. So
yeah,
I'm curious if they're kind of taking a notch out of that playbook and being like one of these more controversial scenes, probably of like shooting a family. I would imagine that's how that scene probably played out, but yeah.
I am curious on what the crossplay exactly will be.
Yeah.
It will actually be, you know, is it Zombies-esque where you're doing something different and you're doing crossplay there, or you're actually doing competitive online multiplayer?
Right.
Because we all know, you know, keyboard, mouse, controller, I don't know. That's
PC rules it. Yeah. But yeah, they actually confirmed no zombie mode.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Which is also unlike the trend Call of Duty's been taking, where it's like, okay, we got Battle Royale, we got zombies. What else do we need? Nothing. Like, that's been their staples the past, Battle Royale, this most recent one for Call of Duty 4 Blackout.
Yeah, they all got in a room where like, we need to take it back to our roots.
Yeah.
Where would we like to start? And they go, Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Like, we'll do that.
Yeah. I mean, arguably, like, that was the one I played and absolutely loved. And I kind of fell out of it. Probably the one after that, I want to say. I think that was the first Black Ops. I don't know. There's way too many of them. But
Call of Duty 3 and 4 were big ones for me, though. Call of Duty 3 was the one that I was like, it was like right when we had 360 PS3, like these next gen graphics, and I just remember like looking at this and being like, oh my god, these graphics are insane.
Yeah, my buddy had it in college, and that was the first time like I ever played an Xbox 360. And I was like, oh, this game's unreal. So
right. I actually have the Platinum Trophy for Modern Warfare 2.
Nice.
And with my Humble Bundle this month, I got a free copy of Modern Warfare 4.
Cool.
And so I think I'll play through that. I am actually excited for Modern Warfare. I think this will be the first Call of Duty game I've bought since Modern Warfare 2. I think I'm going to pick it up.
Yeah. These Mateau's comments, if you don't buy one, whose copy will Justin play? Very accurate. Sure. Although
shots fired.
We'll see. Baby on the way for him. He does have a PlayStation 4 so far. We'll see if he still has it at that point. But this might be the first game I ever buy that I can play with Justin online.
He's selling this PlayStation for diapers. Let's be honest.
Probably. It's probably actually a smart call on that one. Let's see. Moving on from that, and again, I'm going to kind of jump back to E3. See, just an interesting one. Somebody actually in the chat, and I'm sorry I can't think of their non-real name, sent me this article. 3DS eShop title just launched for $100. 3DS. Let me say that again. 3DS eShop. And why? Because it's literally an eye exam that you can play on your 3DS. And apparently, like, it's a very accurate eye exam and can help, like, prescribe shit. Like, obviously not
Nintendo's
legally.
going into the app market. Why wouldn't they just push that towards you?
Well, it's got the 3D. Well, that's the only thing that has like that 3D slider or whatever that you can set.
Does that make a difference?
Yeah,
that's 3 cameras in the front and 6 cameras on the back. And
well, no, this is you look at something and like respond to what you see, and then it does like some fucking check off that. But
it's probably uses the slider. It's like, all right,
yeah,
better. Good.
Perfect.
Well, I'm glad that came out. 5 years too late.
Yeah, I was gonna say
exactly.
all those people
they
just
only need to sell one.
Chomping for the bit. But yeah, found that interesting. So thank you for the suggestion on that one because I had a good laugh reading that. Moving into some, and sorry, I'm all over the agenda, so just strap in. Some VR news. So been playing the Oculus Quest. Finished Vader Immortal like I talked last week. Been playing Super Hot, some Beat Saber. Oculus Quests are apparently becoming hard to find, which is a great sign for VR. And Super Hot, sales on the Oculus Quest 300% higher than its launch on Rift in 2016. Granted, probably a more well-known game for VR. It was a non-VR game as well. But just kind of insane. 800,000 units on the Rift before the Quest launch. So I'm curious to see what the numbers kind of end up being for the Quest after like a year or something like that. But pretty cool. Very excited for kind of that future. Everybody's been kind of raving. And my opinion as well that what it doesn't make up for in graphics and capability like that, it just more than makes up for ease. I brought into work and had somebody try it out in like 30 seconds because I was like, oh yeah, you can just go stand in the break room right there. Here you go. And I walked away and they just did it themselves and figured it out. So
yeah, I think the commodity of this is it's like the Nintendo Switch of VRs in a way, right? Like it's just an easy,
that's a great
like
point.
Headphones on, controllers in your hand, and you're like literally, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
And what's really cool, because I was messing with yours, is I just like how easy it was to do either the room mode or just like the standing mode, just like that. And you're ready to play even if you're in a confined area. It like automatically do that. So yeah, it's not graphically insane, but it does a really good job though, especially for what the VR games are on the market right now, right? It's not like we see a bunch of next gen looking VR games.
Yeah.
Right.
Anytime in Steam VR I have to like reset my boundaries, I'm just like, oh, are you kidding me? What? This is a pain in the ass type thing. This is, even though you do it like pretty much every time you load the Quest, unless you're playing the exact same spot, then it takes like 10 seconds, not even. It's super handy. But continuing on in VR news, pretty big week for VR actually. So last week, Blood and Truth, the PlayStation VR title, came out. It's one of the kind of first real like story action games. I haven't played it yet. I do want to pick it up. Metacritic score is an 80 and user score is an 8.4. So pretty impressive on that, and definitely want to check that out. Hopefully stream that as well. It goes on because of those ratings to be, granted this is UK, so it's UK, whatever. But first VR game to hit #1 in UK retail. UK game charts are always kind of a little bit weird, but still, that's I would say a huge moment for a VR game to take over #1. Granted, slow week and all that stuff for releases and shit, but still, that's...
Stop excusing it. Give it the win. That's awesome.
It's a win. I'm taking it, and I'm very excited to see what E3 has actually for VR, because holy shit.
I'm hoping this will be a good year for VR.
Yeah. I feel like there's there's more competition now out there and stuff like that I'm very curious to see how it goes. Another game that released, actually, I believe it released, I want to say it was yesterday for PC and the day before for PlayStation VR, but Trover Saves the Universe. So this is by, I'm going to blank on their names, but the guys that made Accounting, which is a hilarious VR game, really well known.
Dude.
And
Rick and Morty people.
Yeah, Rick and Morty people. So I've heard kind of mixed results on it. So I'm going to pop over to the Metacritic real quick. 77, so not bad, not great. User score 7.9. So I heard it's kind of a little repetitive and stuff like that. As far as kind of the mechanics go, you can play it in, I think the guy I was watching said he played it in one run through in like 4 to 5 hours, he thought, somewhere around there, which is actually pretty decent for a VR game, I would say. But the comedy was very good, but the mechanics were kind of a little played out by like halfway through. So, sure. But I'll probably pick it up because, I mean, it's freaking Rick and Morty, and of course I want to live in. Well, it's not Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty-esque, because it's literally the same guy that does all the voices that sound all the same. Yeah. So, definitely.
I thought Accounting was hilarious. So.
Yeah, just even like the side conversations and shit they have is comedy gold. So, just being in that. Let's see. I think that's all I got for VR. Gonna switch over, gearing towards E3.
You're just off the rails.
Yeah, I'm just off the rails. Google Stadia Connect. Tomorrow, June 6th, noon Eastern.
Be there.
Spoilers for anybody that I work with, booked a conference room. Gonna watch it. That's my lunch. Don't talk to me. But yeah, very excited. So Stadia coming out hard. We've talked a lot about it. We all got to participate in the beta. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're all kind of blown away by it and its capabilities. Tomorrow, finally, we get pricing, game reveals, launch info, and more. There are currently 502 people waiting on this page, like I am, apparently, which is actually pretty funny. So, yeah, very excited. But now, my question is, especially right before E3, they're gonna, I feel like, have to be coming out swinging. What are your predictions for pricing?
I'm going to guess a little conservative. I'm thinking $29.99 a month.
Okay.
I think it'll be less than that with the amount of games that you have. I think that unless they already said this, I think they may do a model, which is a pure guess, of like a certain amount per month with access to like 3 playable games at a certain time, or 10 playable
like
games at a
tiered
certain time.
pricing sort of thing.
So like
tiered
GameFly, which I never
pretty
used.
much, but like, but
like
better.
good, but like actually good.
Right. Like GameFly was Netflix.
That's interesting. So I kind of have 2 schools of thought of what I think they could do. So I'm going actually higher. I'm going $39.99 a month. And maybe it's not off the bat because I'm sure they're going to need a bigger game collection to get to that. The $39.99 a month, kind of like a Game Pass, but you can play anything you want. It's going to be all these AAA titles. There's already not confirmations, but basic confirmations of Destiny 2. Some stuff got kind of leaked today. They're actually going to announce that tomorrow afternoon, I think. Or during the Stadium. It's like preemptive, I guess. I'm assuming Assassin's Creed, and I would guess a lot of Ubisoft games on there. So hopefully like Destiny, or not Destiny 2, Division 2, stuff like that. And I think it's either going to be that, or it's going to be like an Amazon Prime, not even Amazon Prime, Amazon Video type situation, where it's you pay this much a month, you get access to these things, and then you quote unquote rent them and pay to rent them for like a month at a time or something. So because I feel like the game library will take a while to get there.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're going to have to do something weird in the beginning because, like, for example, the $40 a month. I will gladly pay that once they have a full library of shit to play and they get, as long as they're getting the AAA releases as they come out and stuff like that. Because, I mean, I spend $60 a month, honestly, probably at least, on video games. So if they did, even if they did $60 a month, I would consider it, provided they're getting all of the like big games.
Right.
So
do you think they'll do anything similar to Epic Games or to PlayStation or to Xbox, where it might be the subscriber service and then also you get one free game a month or 2 free games a month that you can access if you're paying for your subscription?
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, kind of like PlayStation Plus type thing where you have access to it. You get a free game, but you can buy games and or you get a discount on them. Or maybe it's kind of like the PlayStation Plus method where it's you can either buy the game fully and you can, I guess, play it whenever, or you do a membership and you get discounts on them and you can switch games out or something like that. But
because even Nintendo gives you free games for subscribing. I mean, Nintendo's their like NES collection, but still. So.
Yeah.
These Matos asks, what does Redbox charge? I'm pretty sure it's like $8 a day, right?
Oh shit, is it?
Yeah, I think it's $7.99 a day.
Damn. It better not be that model.
No.
Every time you play it is $8. Good luck. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm really hoping they come out though tomorrow and are like, we're launching end of the year, but we're going to do another beta type thing, more open beta, get that press out there, allow people to just play some big AAA game. Like, honestly, I really hope it's not, I hope it's not Destiny 2. I kind of feel like it's going to be. Like, here you play it. Like, you can just play it till, we actually go live and just let everybody do it to kind of get that grasp, get their, teeth sunk into it.
I'm just excited about not having games installed on hard drive. I have a 2 terabyte hard drive, and I'm constantly uninstalling stuff to reinstall other things. And so I own Destiny 2. If I can play it on Stadia and it's stored on their hard drive, so fuck it, I'm just going to uninstall it from mine. So I need to be online to play it anyway.
I'm excited. I'm going to have a Nintendo Switch, and then I can go play games wherever I want. Because a hotel, granted, not usually the best internet, but from what they're saying, good enough to stream Stadia, not 4K, whatever, but like enough to stream it.
The Switch isn't good enough for 4K anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So
if they have a like an initial Founders Edition sort of like 6-month subscription with their controller, would you guys be interested?
Yep, doesn't matter.
I want to get a controller.
Tell me a price.
Shut up and take my money.
Shut up and take my money. And wow, I thought we were going to maybe not hit an hour, and I just realized we got 12 minutes left. We haven't even gotten to E3 yet. Shit.
Deion, what do you think?
It's Xbox Game Pass is $15. PlayStation Now is $20. I know this is above and beyond that because you need a console for those other things. My only thing is this, because I want to stream more, and I did actually stream with the Stadia, whatever.
Yeah.
I actually tried to stream with it. It was okay, but it definitely gave me some connection blips.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
When I tried to do it, just like a little icon in the right corner. It's not. I mean, it's great to do all the other things, right? You can be on a shitty PC and play away. But if you are trying to do streaming, I think you will have challenges with trying to stream that against, broadcasting on Twitch. So that's the only thing that's like. Fair. So if the price point's in the right place for me, then I would do it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm curious. And yeah, who knows? Maybe they do like a fucking World of Warcraft model where it's this much a month, or by year at a time, you get a discount type situation. Mm-hmm. So.
Which I would do, just like Prime, Amazon Prime. I'd just be like, take
exactly.
my money. I'll think about it next year.
Yep. Okay. Enough of that. Getting into E3. Just kidding. Right before E3. Sony revealed some information today. I'm going to just bullet through this one. Sony's not going to be at E3. I'm very curious if they're going to have a state of play. Very curious. But they did confirm apparently today in an interview with CNET about it's going to be 4K at 120 hertz. It's going to be the solid state drive. You can also save and transfer saves between generations too. So a game you saved on PS4, you can play on PS5 or wherever the hell.
I'll have no reason to keep my PS4 then. If I can play all my old games, transfer all my save files.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I'm gonna probably move into like Betterment or some shit, but yeah. So cool news. Weird PlayStation not being at E3, but I feel like they're gonna be like putting out some shit during it just to get hype around it. But yeah, moving on to E3. Actually, let me go over. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sort of sure. Okay. Destiny 2. We already talked about that. I'm not gonna go through that. We're going to wait on that one. E3 2018. Oh my God, I pulled up 2019. Son of a bitch. I'm going to just close that. E3 press conference coming up. EA Play starts Saturday. We got all the big conferences going. We're going to be doing reaction videos after the fact, kind of giving our thoughts on everything. But prior to that, I wanted to get kind of just 3 basic predictions. What you guys think will be the best game of E3 2019, what will be the best conference of E3 2019, and what will be the worst conference.
Interesting.
Who wants to start?
You go ahead, Mike.
All right. Best game. I'm thinking Cyberpunk 2077. I think there's a lot of anticipation behind it, and I think if they're not going to have a playable demo on the floor, then I'm expecting an over-the-top sort of presentation.
That's fair.
It's the team behind it is fantastic. I have every bit of confidence that it's going to blow our minds this year, and it's certainly at like the top of my watch list right now. So Cyberpunk 2077, my prediction, best game of E3 2019.
Actually, here, let's do that. Let's go best of show for the games and kind of go down the line.
Perfect.
And also, chat, let us know what you think as well. While you're going through that.
Yeah, give us your thoughts.
Deion, what's your best game?
Cyberpunk for me as well. There's a lot there, man. And I was trying to think about like Outer Worlds and some of the other stuff that's coming through. But I don't know, man. I think that they're gonna.
That's fair. I do have it as my background right now. I didn't want to show that because I'm not going to say Cyberpunk 2077, although I am not going to be surprised at all if it is. I'm going to say Fallout 76. I mean, Jedi Fallen Order.
I would love for that to be the thing.
I am insanely excited for it. I am very terrified they're going to just fuck it up. But I'm excited for some gameplay. I'm excited for the kind of the grittiness of it and stuff like that. And if they nail it, I could see this being it. But Cyberpunk, obviously, excellent choice. And again, would not doubt it for a second. Let's see. Best conference, Mike.
Best conference. I am definitely not an Xbox guy, but my money this year is on Microsoft and Xbox. Stadia is talking about next gen stuff. PlayStation coming out shortly after this, next gen stuff. Nintendo rocking it. They've talked about the new Switches that they're going to have out soon. Right. I would not be surprised if they put a lot of emphasis on their new digital only console and sort of bring more to the table in that arena. There's the Halo Infinite that I think will be a really cool presentation. Sea of Thieves, that should be pretty cool.
Bass Hunter. Sea of Thieves, Bass Hunter, says Steve.
I think Xbox, Microsoft.
Interesting. I thought you would have said it for a different reason. I thought you would have said because of Cyberpunk. Grant, I'm wildly speculating, but based on E3 2018, that's where it got revealed at the end of the Microsoft conference because they got hacked.
Yeah, I didn't really put that together, but I appreciate you calling me out like that online.
I was just okay. There you go.
Yeah.
So I feel like that just adds argument to Microsoft being the best one.
Right. It adds to it, but I think that they're going to prepare something pretty solid. I think that they know. We talked about this a couple months ago. I think they know that they have an uphill battle with Stadia, and they know with PlayStation sort of peeling off, they're going to have to bring it, and I think they really will.
Yeah, and they lost this generation. Like, they lost hard to PlayStation, so they're going to have to come out of the gate hard.
Agreed.
Deion.
I think that Ubisoft will run away with it this year. They got a lot going on, guys. I mean, Division 2 did really well, so they could put more stuff there.
I'm gonna go over real quick to this Watch Dogs.
Perfect, because that's what I was going to talk about anyway.
Watch Dogs. Yep.
Yeah, the Watch Dogs stuff is really cool with the Watch Dogs leak. So there's stuff there. They talked about, I don't know how much you're going to get into it, John, but obviously there's a lot of stuff there. And then with the Tom Clancy Ghost Recon Breaking Point.
Breaking Point, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, so there's that, Assassin's Creed, Vikings, there's just a lot of stuff there, and just for them to display that, and if there's any little surprises that we don't know about of something new, I think that could be a really good show killer. So
gotcha.
That's what I got.
Real quick on that note, the Watch Dogs Legion did get kind of spoiled, so more coming at E3. So it got spoiled, which I'm about to talk about, but then they did post, is this today? Yesterday, about God Save the NPCs reveal at E3. So what got leaked, Jason Schreier over at Kotaku, who it just seems like every single time puts out amazing stuff. Amazon UK leaked it prior to E3 with descriptions. Play as anyone. Every individual you meet in the open world has a full set of animations, voiceover, character traits, and visuals that are generated and guided by gameplay systems. So he kind of goes on. In fact, from what I've heard, the system is so ambitious that it's been causing the developers a lot of headaches and may have led to at least one delay. So weird system that I don't even know how to start speculating on. Whether you're like hacking people or
I think this is what I think. I think it's going to be I think Legion will be anonymous, and I think that you will get to be a different hacker, part of the hacktivist group, right? That's what I think. So I think that you could be that NPC, which is a hacker doing something, and then you could switch over to another NPC, which is another hacker, part of the group. That's my biggest.
Gotcha. Okay.
What excites me the most about this piece, though, is just like we saw in Red Dead Redemption 2, and something that we talked about late last year, and something that has sort of been brought up with Cyberpunk 2077. We are seeing these much more flushed out worlds where NPCs are no longer backdrops. They're no longer these sort of repeating the same sentences.
Man. Yeah.
Right. Playing Days Gone, I come back to this camp 2 or 3 times, and each time this girl is standing there in the corner going, "Oh, I didn't tell you. Last night I was walking and there were wolves coming," and it's like, you told that story. I heard that story. Over. You killed the immersion for me.
Yep.
So every NPC to be able to be sort of taken over, and they have their own animations, so their own sort of walk and their own sort of fight or whatever, and voice animations or voices and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's forcing a more diverse world, and I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love
it. For me, best conference, I did think about Ubisoft because they've been nailing it so well the past few years, and I kind of wish we did worst one because I'm sure you guys are going to shit all over this one. My best conference, I think, is going to be EA. And it kind of pains me to say that, so I'm still even doubtful, but they've traditionally been terrible in the past. They know that. They need to come out.
Really building this game.
I know. Just see, my theory is they're so bad, anything they do is going to be an improvement and look amazing. But really, they've got Jedi Fallen Order. That's a huge IP. It's Respawn Entertainment. Respawn, I know Apex Legends has kind of went downhill in popularity. They're going to be talking about the Battle Pass, the upcoming one, how they've made changes to that. But they killed it. Like, that was an amazing game. We got sucked into it. If Respawn can even hit part of that addiction level on Jedi Fallen Order, it's going to be amazing. And the actual people they have, and now you're going to just mock me because it's kind of funny people, but like having Greg Miller, Andrew Renee, all these different popular YouTube hosts doing these games is going to be much better than their traditional EA conferences where it's like, who the fuck is this suit? And why does he not know anything about video games? And what is he presenting? So I think maybe they don't have the best game reveals and stuff like that, although I really hope they do. I think they will have a very solid presentation and do a lot. That's why I say it. And then I'm going to probably just regret all these words I'm saying right now. In like a week when we talk about this again, and they'll be like, wow, John, you're an idiot. Yes, I was.
No, I really hope that we capture the hope in your eyes on camera.
Oh, you will. If Jedi Fallen Order is anything but amazing, I'm going to just be like distraught and flipping things.
Right.
So.
You're a lot riding on that right now.
Yeah, I do. Just about. I have a poster over here, and I'm afraid to hang it. So, let's see.
Hang it now before the game comes out.
Worst conference. Mike and Deion, do you want to just say it at the same time?
Yeah, it's going to be EA. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll let Mike talk. I am changing my answer a little bit, but I'll let Mike speak to EA.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think that it's going to be EA. I think that they're going to ride very heavily on the shoulders of Jedi Fallen Order, which, not to say that it won't be able to stand on its own 2 feet, but that's what it's going to lean on as hard as it can. You're right. There'll be some Apex Legends news, which would be kind of cool. The popularity has dropped a little bit. It's still a fun game. Like, there's no problems with that, but I don't expect to see anything mind-blowing. Anthem's not even on their list of things to present.
Exactly. That's why it'll be good.
So, like we talked about earlier, what does that even mean? Does that mean they're sort of regrouping, or are they dropping the project altogether?
Right.
There's going to be some sports stuff. They'll talk about the next Madden. They'll talk
FIFA and stuff, yeah.
Like, that's the same cookie cutter presentation every single game. They're going to be like, oh yeah, that's going to be really cool. You can actually take control of every player too in FIFA 20. You're like, okay. So I'm not super enthusiastic about EA's comp. I don't think they're going to have a whole lot that's going to wow anybody.
Yeah. So I agree. I'm changing my opinion slightly because I think that they won't be the worst of the worst. I think that they will just be totally forgetful. Like, I think it'll be like, oh my god, Star Wars, and then everything else is just like Madden, FIFA, everything Mike just said, like just the same stuff, and nothing will be memorable. We'll just think about.
Gotcha. That's fair.
So because of that, I'm stealing John's answer because he hasn't answered yet.
Good.
Which is Bethesda. And the reason, after comparing the two, I'm just like, well, and maybe it's just more so because I don't know what Bethesda's going to show, because they already said they're not going to show Elder Scrolls, or they're not going to show Starfield.
Yep.
Starfield?
Yeah, Starfield.
So I'm just like, what are you going to do, dude? 76 was a disaster, and like, are you going to talk about like Elder Scrolls Online, and like that's like, I just like, there's not much there, so I can't envision what they're going to do that would make it really, really good. It'll just come out and just be like, I'm sorry. And then
leave the stage.
They'll win best. Like, listen, we're really sorry. It's just a scale with a bunch of people on it. We get it now. We understand.
We fucked up. Shit. Real quick, before I elaborate on why I think Bethesda is, T-Gab says Square Enix. I don't know if that was for the best one or the worst one, because I could see that going either way. I'm really hoping.
I think he wrote that when we were talking about the worst one.
Yeah.
Why Square Enix? I think they're going to come out the gate. They're going to show Final Fantasy VII.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah.
Final
Fantasy. Okay, that's.
Yeah, so
I can't even.
yeah,
Right now.
Final Fantasy VII. I'm gonna buy. I can't wait for it. But I'm
What
a little
else
worried
are they gonna
because
show? You guys think?
well, they're gonna show the Marvel's. Oh my God! Why?
Wasn't there Kingdom Hearts stuff?
Avengers. Marvel's Avengers.
Right.
So
right.
I'm not.
Oh my God! I can't believe I
Forgot about that.
I'm curious how much they show because I don't know. I'm skeptical they're going to show a whole lot of that game. I feel like that's been almost as much of a pipe dream as Final Fantasy VII of taking forever. I feel like that's going to be the next one, even though they need to capitalize on it now. It's just Square, so they always do something. I feel like dumb, and now they're taking over one of the prime spots where PlayStation was Monday night. 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not hopeful for Square. I think they will have cool announcements, but it will be a very mediocre press conference. But back to Bethesda, like you said, Fallout 76. They need to come hat in hand on that one. They can talk about any updates they want, but no one's going to care. Rage 2, super mediocre reviews. Wasn't multiplayer, which how was that not multiplayer? They're not talking about Starfield. They're not talking about Elder Scrolls. They'll talk about Elder Scrolls Online, their new update. They'll probably talk about maybe another update. I'm going to guess there's going to be a Skyrim remaster on some shit. And they're going to have another rock concert. And everybody's going to be like, what are you doing? Stop coming back to E3, Bethesda. Go fix your shit.
Go home.
Yeah, oversaturation. Tell me sweet little lies, Todd. Yes, that's basically it. prE-3, Best in Show. Woo.
I can't take T-Gib seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't ever take him seriously. Except for no Steam, no buy. That's about the most serious thing he'll ever say in his life. Right. Yeah, so Bethesda is my worst conference. Although I'm kind of excited for it just because I don't know what they're going to do to like...
Right.
I don't think they should have showed up this year.
You think Todd Howard's just going to come out in like his leather jacket and start to walk around? Hey guys, we heard you.
Yep.
We heard what you said.
I guarantee you those words are said by him. We heard you. Guaranteed. Also, Microsoft's going to say that a lot because they always say that a lot. I feel like
they do
just
always say that
always.
A lot.
So for Bethesda conference and the E3 conference, the two old guys from the Muppets, and I'm just going to fuck.
Oh, you kind of cut out there. You're gonna what?
I'm going to heckle them.
Oh, heckle them. Okay, gotcha. I was like, what? What are you gonna say? Yeah. So more to come on that one. So tomorrow night, and I think I totally forgot to mention this. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, we are going to be doing a live stream recording of Squad Thoughts, where we talk about our impressions and recap of the Stadia Connect announcement. That's tomorrow again at 12 Eastern. And then next week, and we'll be doing This Week in Game again, probably the following weekend is my tentative guess. We'll be doing a Squad Thoughts of our impressions of E3, who we thought won Best of Show and stuff like that. So we'll see how accurate our predictions actually were. So yeah, more to come on that. Anything else on E3 before I just kind of go into deals of the week?
Oversaturation mentions that Microsoft can say whatever they want. They aren't doing Epic exclusives. He's absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I think this is something that we've all sort of said, is that their exclusive game is weak.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know which way they're going to go with it, though. Are they going to do more like Xbox exclusives, or are they going to focus on like crossplay and open the market up?
They bought, I want to say it was like 15 studios. It was this ridiculous amount of studios. So I'm expecting a lot of stuff to come out of the Microsoft one. I'm just curious how good they are, because they just don't have that reputation yet of being the Sony Interactive Entertainment's one. So I think they're going to come out with a solid base, but I'm very curious to see if any of that base is like, I don't know, like the God of War reveal or anything like that, or even the first Last of Us, where it's like, holy shit, this game looks amazing type stuff. So.
Right. Oversaturation says, I'm amazed at computer. Fair. It crossplays very well with itself. It's, everybody else it doesn't really play well with.
Fair. And also,
sub.
thanks for the gifted sub. Appreciate that. 2 gift subs in the channel. Give us a new Alan Wake. Yeah, that's a fair point as well. Control. I'm not sure where Control is going to show up. I'm very curious to see more about that too. So that's 505
kind
games.
Of fallen off the radar a little bit. Huh?
Yeah, I think they showed that at the PlayStation one last year. I'm not sure if it was PlayStation exclusive though. I don't think it was. So yeah, kind of curious to see where that ends up too. And really just VR games in general. I'm super excited for. But that takes us out of E3. More to come. We're going to be talking about, tweeting about it, all that stuff. So make sure you follow us. Sub or give subs, like T-Gebs does, to Oversaturation. We're talking about bad-mouthing Epic exclusive. PlayStation Plus, as a reminder, in June, you got the free games. You got Borderlands Handsome Collection, and you got Sonic Mania. So those are available, I think, as of yesterday.
Yep, I picked both up yesterday, so they're good to go.
Cool. And then for I forgot, I just had this GIF. For Epic Store, you can go and pick up City of Brass through tomorrow, so tomorrow, June 6th, and then you can pick up Kingdom New Lands, which, based on the GIF I searched, is just you riding a horse a bunch. I have no idea what it's about. I didn't look.
Man, those Epic exclusives are really kind of gone.
Yeah. Actually, City of Brass looks kind of cool, but again, one I'll just add to my library and probably never play. It's just like half the shit in my Steam library. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that gets us into what are we playing? So, chat, we want to know what you guys are playing, but Mike, what are you playing?
So, I beat Observation.
Thoughts?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I was not a fan of the ending. Not to say that it's bad, and I'm sure somebody out there will have found it amazing. To me, I just wasn't really super impressed with it. I was also really frustrated with, and this is just a personal thing, but like at no point was it like, you're about to go past the point of no return, and then so there was a bunch of trophies and stuff I didn't get because they didn't snuck up on me. And so now I got to go play the whole freaking thing over again. But so, whatever. I'll actually play through it again. The puzzles were a lot of fun. Gameplay's a little slow because you're moving in space and everything is just sort of like, but enjoyable. So Check it out. I'd like to hear what everybody else thinks about the ending as well. I closed out the Mario Kart mobile beta today. It ended today. Absolutely loved it. I probably sunk 30 hours into it overall.
Damn.
I actually won. At least when I went to bed last night at 10, I was number 1 in the weekly sort of tournament for a particular cup.
Cool.
So
awesome.
Top of the leaderboards. I don't know if they're going to continue to like carry my stuff over when the new version comes out, or like when the final version comes out, or start over. But anyway, it's all linked to my Nintendo account, so that'd be really cool.
Nice.
Been playing that. That's been fun. I also jumped into Days Gone this weekend. I put in a healthy chunk of gameplay. I got to a whole new area of the map that I didn't even know was there, which is pretty cool. The story's starting to pull me in a little bit more. The game is still so repetitive.
Yeah.
So repetitive. And the story is not like the most thrilling thing ever, but I at least feel like I want to keep playing now instead of like I don't want to go kill the same nests over and over again.
You're kind of obligated at this point? No. I
am. I'm probably 15 hours in. I think they said it's 40 to 50 or so for the platinum. So I'm less than halfway, but still enough that like I gotta keep going. So
gotcha.
That's about it.
Cool.
What about you, Deion?
I've been playing mainly. I just picked this up, and this game's been out for a while. But Thronebreaker, the Witcher Tales. If you're not familiar with that, it's essentially an extension of the Witcher universe. It's like more like a top-down RPG, but the combat is based off of Gwent, the card game.
Interesting.
And it's got great reviews, 9.4 out of 10 on IGN, 9 out of 10 on Steam, and like I think like a 40-hour and like actual story with like full dialogue and everything. So that's been fun. And alongside that, I actually for like the first time. I've used the Steam Link with my iPad because that game was like perfect to and that, like that game actually. So first thing on the Steam Link, it actually through the app, it actually worked really well, pretty responsive. I mean, I wouldn't play high FPS game or anything like that, or something that I needed a quick rate to, but for that game, for this type of game where it's like a card game and essentially I can just take my finger and like, the guy will just run where I need him to, like it works perfectly. So yeah, I'll be playing that at the nights before I go to bed.
That's cool. Nice. I never knew this was a thing. This looks legit.
Yeah, it was one of those ones that kind of crept up on you, and there was a lot out towards the end of the year, especially with the God of Wars, the Red Deads, and all that stuff. So it's easily missed, but it's a good one.
That's cool.
There's a Gwent game for PlayStation. It's just Gwent.
Yeah, it's just Gwent. That one's free, and this came out after that, which is cool because this is like, hey, there's Gwent, but then it's like Gwent plus like a whole campaign story with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks really cool.
Yeah, shit, I might pick this up too.
Yeah, dude.
I fucking love Gwent. Although the Gwent only game, I was kind of like, I don't know about that because like part of it's getting the cards and all that stuff, and I was like,
yeah. I just started out, but I think if you like Gwent a lot, it's like here's that plus campaign.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go check that out. Very cool.
I got the platinum in The Witcher 3, which required a lot of Gwent. You had to get every single card in the game.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was hard. It was really hard.
That's what she said. Anything else? No. Okay.
I think so. Can we tell them what time we're getting on tomorrow?
Hey, I haven't told anybody. I meant from Deion. God.
No, that's it from me.
I see how it is.
You're not playing anything, let's be honest.
I'm playing a lot of Galaxy of Heroes for some reason, and I need to stop.
Yeah, I started playing again thanks to you. So
you're welcome. Yeah, all the different like events, and I can't decide on which like squad team or whatever I want to focus on. And I keep going everywhere, and it's terrible. But I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I think I kind of just started playing it again last week, like over Memorial Day. I kind of started getting back into it. I'm very much back into it now. And loving it. I'm 44, 45 hours into the game. Got my spear upgrade to level 5, so that means I can get all the cool abilities at least, and all that stuff. And yeah, just having a blast with it. Even girlfriend is like watching the side quests and shit like that, enjoying it. So yeah, I really forgot how good that is. Again. Yeah,
but I don't want to. I want to play it in my room. Like I want to like be able to like lay on my bed and play it, but I have to play it in my PC because I have.
Gotcha. Let's see. We got Oversaturation playing a robot named Fight. Oh yeah, and actually you say the Metroid nostalgia. Yeah, it looks very similar to that old Metroidvania type game. These Matos playing Resident Evil 2 in the dark. That does seem like a terrible idea. Diablo 3 and a weird Asian mobile game called Auto Chess. That just seems like a chess simulator where you watch people play chess. Because I'm
That's exactly what it sounds like.
All on the name. So weird that you'd play that. Let's see. Resident Evil 4? Wait, Capcom. Oh yeah, they did release Resident Evil 4 the remaster, right? That was a year or two ago. But that one didn't get nearly the acclaim of like Resident Evil 2. I don't know. Fortunately, I have not followed those games because I am too scared to play those games unless we're doing a squad mode where I play Resident Evil 7 in VR.
There you go.
Resident Evil 4 is incredible. It's my favorite Resident Evil. Easily.
Oh, on Switch. Okay, gotcha. Steve Nedley playing Cuphead and crying. That is accurate.
Yeah.
And now
that's how you play Cuphead.
It's going to be coming to Teslas. So there you go, Mike. Yes. You can start playing Cuphead on your Tesla with a wired controller, I believe is what I read, because Elon Musk said you can't play that game unless you have no latency, so it has to be wired. I believe is roughly what he said. So
that, whatever.
Apparently he has some appreciation for it, so that's kind of cool. And wow, yeah, we went over 20 minutes over. So thank you guys for watching, as always. Sticking around, sticking it out for the long haul, the E3 predictions and stuff. More to come. Again, tomorrow night, 7 p.m., June 6th. We'll be doing squad thoughts, talking about the Stadia Connect, which is tomorrow. So our thoughts based on that. Hopefully some cool pricing, dates, and games. And then, let's see. What else we got? Yeah, E3 this week. Holy shit. Can't wait.
I know.
Can't wait.
So
It's like Christmas, except I don't actually get anything.
we are the squad thoughts oversaturation.
There it is.
But I'm the good looking one.
Ooh, squad thoughts. I like that. We should start using that instead,
Squad
actually.
thoughts.
Okay, you guys got anything else?
No, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Cool. See you guys tomorrow. Until then, stay salted.
Bye.
Bye, guys.